Hey, good afternoon. Wonderful world of YouTube, my loyal subscribers. Hey, got up this morning and I noticed that, let me fix my button. How dare I come on here looking like a fool? Bam! Not even shaved. You see that? That's called days off. But hey, I'm here today to bring you something that's going to be very rare to this channel. Wouldn't say rare. Very occasionally this will happen. I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. And just want to thank everybody who's recently subscribed. About 2 days ago, I had a little over 50 some subscribers. This morning I woke up to like 75. I thank you. The more the merrier. I'm not in this for, an obscene amount of subscribers. I did this because a few people asked me to do it, and they've been very loyal subscribers since then. Comment on everything. But let's get down to the action. Let's not waste any time, because time is precious. It's one thing you don't get back. So stay tuned. This is DB, and I'm about to take you behind the nonsense. So, the video that I got today is a little bit different, but the same thing as most. Let me explain that to you. A lot of people like to do the 5 most complimented fragrances, top 10 most complimented, blah. I don't do that. Because it's worn out. Nobody compliments on half the stuff you're putting on there anyway. So anyhow, I decided to do one that I thought would be a little bit more interesting, and that is the top 5 colognes in my collection that have left a good impression. What I mean by that is I'm not the kind of person that is around a crowd of people. I'm not, I have PTSD, so I get real nervous around a ton of groups of people. So if 5 or more people surround me, I get real paranoid. So I have to kind of back myself out of it. Medication doesn't resolve everything. So little inside thing on me. But anyway, I will go up to people and I will say, hey, so and so and such, be honest. What do you think about this fragrance? And I only do that to people that I know are going to tell me the truth, because I don't like the pipe dream of everything smelling good like a lot of these reviewers on here. And oh my God, it just smells so great. And it smells like Dookie. So with that being said, I'm going to give you the 5 fragrances in my collection that have left a lasting and good impression on multiple people. So what I mean by that is I've asked more than one person what they thought, and these have garnered me the most compliments from these people and left them with a good impression. So let's stop the nonsense. See how I threw that in there? And let's get down to it. Number 5. This, let me stop. I want to, let's do it. Number 5. The one that garners me about half and half, but the ones that have given me the, man, that smells great, that's what they say. And the ones that say, that's average, that's what I get. So this is kind of a mixed review for me, but people say it smelled great way more than it said it smells good. That is Versace Pour Homme. I like it. As you can see, I put a powerful dent in a 200 ml bottle. I want you guys to understand something. DB is a niche fanatic. I do like my niche for many, many reasons I won't get into. But for a designer, this Versace Pour Homme, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It's just that elegant scent. And I do own quite a bit of Versace's. And this here, when people have smelled it, said it smells great. Other people have said it smells average. But more people say it smells great than good or average or bad or whatever. So number 5, is Versace Pour Homme. Don't be surprised. Number 4 is another Versace. At number 4, a lot of people have told me that this is probably the most overall balanced fragrance that they've smelled. And that's literally what about 10, 15 people that I normally talk to on a daily basis, plus people who don't know me and have smelled this have given me quite a few compliments. That is Versace The Dreamer. I don't know what it is about The Dreamer that gets everybody so freaking nostalgic about it. I think it's a great scent, don't get me wrong. These are not by any means in order of my favorite, because this list would be totally different. But I don't think Versace Dreamer is as good as Pour Homme. That's my opinion. It's definitely good. It definitely gives me, Versace Pour Homme gives me more of a longer longevity than the Dreamer, but the Dreamer just seems to grab that few extra people outside of the people I associate with that have gravitated to it and said it smells good. It does smell good. It just wouldn't be in my personal top 5. So once again, these are just the top 5 that have left a good impression. So without further ado, let's get to number 3. This will be the only Parfums de Marly in this. If I had it my way, Parfums de Marly would probably take up 6 out of my 10 favorite fragrances. No lie. I could knock a couple off of there, but this one here has garnered me more comments outside of my norm than my number 1. But I've also had people, unlike my number 1, say there's something about this that just turns them off. But it has left more of a good impression than a bad. That is Parfums de Marly Cologne. I like Cologne. I'm not going to lie to you. It's my first or second favorite Parfums de Marly fragrance that I own. Because sometimes there's different Parfums de Marlys, like Layton exclusive. That's a hit or miss for me. Just like my favorite Red Tobacco and Naxos. They alternate which one is actually done real well. So that's going to be the one of the few in here that is one of my favorites. Number 1 is actually one of my favorites of all time, but we'll get to that in a few. Number 2, this doesn't get enough love. This happens to be one of my favorite designers, and I don't own a lot of, but you don't hear too many people complimenting the daylights out of this fragrance. And that would be Narciso Rodriguez For Him Bleu Noir. This is my number 2 that has left the most good, that has left a good impression on people. This is the one that people just flock to me with this thing. Only number 1 has had more people outside of my group that have flocked to me than this. I mean, they take musk and whatever else they have in this to a whole new level. I should rock it a lot more than I do, but I get so much stuff in. But being a reviewer, I buy so much stuff, get so much stuff in, that I want to make sure I hit the lists and get everything in, so my subscribers have content that they absolutely can say, oh, I've heard about that one from DB. By the way, guys, if there's something you want to hear, something that you need to hear, DB make a review on, hit me up. I'll find it. I'll review it, tell you what y'all think. I have no problem with that. So number 2 is Narciso Rodriguez For Him Noir Bleu. I think it's a great fragrance. He has another one that's called Narciso Rodriguez For Him. I don't garner any compliments off of that, so I left that out the list. But I do have an honorable mention, and I forgot to bring it out of my drawer. And before I get to number 1, I'd like to give you that honorable mention. And the reason that it's not in this list is because it is definitely a hit or miss fragrance that a lot of people usually say I'll pass on. And that is Mancera's Red Tobacco. I absolutely love it. I've told you before, it's my number 1, number 2 favorite. And it is absolutely, to me, a pure tobacco leaf fragrance that I just absolutely love. Just reminds me of here in North Carolina. It really does. I've told people I've been out in the fields of North Carolina and smelled the tobacco there, and I've smelled it from them priming it all the way to hanging and drying, and smells phenomenal. I used to work at a company called Ashley Furniture. They actually bought an R.J. Reynolds facility, and out back of the facility is, I mean, they look like airport hangars to me, but it's where they used to dry the tobacco. And I'm not kidding you. You can still walk in that place today and walk in there and smell the tobacco. It smells exactly like Mancero's red tobacco. So that's why I know without a doubt in my mind, Mancero's red tobacco is the most pure tobacco fragrance. So, number one. This absolutely gets people telling me, hands down, about how great this fragrance is. This is my number one favorite, so I was happy to put it in here. You know, I did an honest assessment of what, you know, people said to me, and I remember distinctively so many people coming up. This fragrance has garnered so much respect. I had a guy at work where I used to work at, and I sweat real bad at that place. It was temperature controlled at 75. I ran 14 machines by myself, so I was constantly moving and sweating. Lost 30 pounds at that place. So he came from 40 feet away in another department and like used his nose to track me and said, I don't care what it is, just tell me how much and give me a decant of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see by this bottle that this is a very loved fragrance, and I get tons of compliments from it. Of course, my wife don't like it. She don't like anything I like. That is Xerjoff Naxos. I can't tell you, I hardly have anybody give me a bad compliment about Naxos. As you can see, a new bottle is in order. From me spraying it to decanting it, I just can't keep Naxos. That's my second bottle, to be honest with you. My first one probably had 15 or 20 ml in it. The bottle was all banged up, didn't have a presentation to it. This one I got from a dealer that I deal with it was on sale for 180 shipped. I bought it, decanted more than half of it. And you see where it's at now for me spraying it, decanting it. It's my number one fragrance that has left such a great impression on people that I still get the same people calling me up, I'm out of that decant. And I keep telling them, by the time you keep buying the decants from me, which I'm about out, I can't decant no more. I've got probably roughly 12 ml left. You're going to end up buying the whole thing. Just let me get you a good deal on just the bottle. Don't need a presentation. They just say, no, I'd rather get it from you. I'll take it. It's a compliment to what I do. So I want to thank you guys for spending this 13 minutes with me. And I don't do these often because I just think people wear them out. But if you have any suggestions, thank you to my one YouTube subscriber. I don't know your real name, but I'll go by your handle, Mufa. He gave me this inspiration. He asked if I would do a top of something, and it was kind of complicated. So I kind of took my interpretation of what he thought he wanted to hear from me. And Mufa, I hope this gives you what you wanted. And to the rest of my subscribers, keep sending in suggestions. DB don't get upset with suggestions. If it helps my subscribers get what they want from me, which should be truth and honesty, and keeping up with about as current as I can. I know I'm late to this game compared to a lot of people, so I kind of repeat some things, but I don't go to the norm. I don't follow paths. That's just not how I roll. So check it out. Keep sending in suggestions. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, do it all. DB's here to make you happy. So this is DB, and I just took you behind this top 5 nonsense. Y'all have a great one.